Let's talk Ewoks, specifically the ones from the vintage Star Wars line released between 1983 and 1985. You may love them or you may hate them, but to complete your collection of 96 figures, to collect them all, you can't ignore them. There are surprisingly 8 Ewoks in total, yes 8, and on the surface they all seem equal, except half of them are dramatically more expensive than the other half. This is Dave at Vintage Toy Rush, and it's time to know your Ewoks. Hang on, that's not an Ewok. That's a common Wookiee mistake. If you're anything like me and have a hard time remembering stuff,
tomorrow I want you to take that R2 unit to Anchorhead and have its memory erased.
I've put together this quick guide on getting to know our friendly murder bears. So, we'll learn how to identify each one, take a look at their accessories, and see how much they're currently selling for, loose and complete, on eBay. By the end of this video, I can assure you, almost guarantee it, that you'll be able to identify them all like an Ewok god. Let's start with the most recognisable Ewok. It's Wicket. He's tiny, he's about the size of Yoda. He's got a very distinctive fur colouring on the front, brown hood and a same colour spear. Now Wicket is not part of the last 17. He's been selling on eBay over the last month on average for about £20. This is Romba, who has a spear that's almost identical to Wicket's, just very slight differences in the moulding on the spear tip. Romba has a brown fur all over, it's very plain, except for the dark brown moulded belt. There's also a dark brown hood, and you can see the teeth, the very white teeth, smiling through there. Now, Romba is part of the last 17 and has been selling on eBay over the last month on average for about £90. And this is Tebow. He has very distinctive grey stripes. Basically, if your Ewok has stripes, he's not part of the last 17. He's got a stone axe, he has an Ewok horn on a strap, and a very distinctive hood with some foliage coming out the top. Like I say, he's not part of the last 17. Over the last month or so, he's been selling on average for about £15. This is Lumat, a rather plain looking Ewok. The chances are, if you have plain fur, it's a last 17. Now, Lumat has a dark brown bow, a hood, and an Ewok quiver on a strap. He's often mistaken for Warwick, but we'll see how we can distinguish between the two later. As he's part of the last 17, on eBay over the last month or so, he's been selling on average for about £90. Another very distinctive Ewok, it's Logray, the Medicine Man. I love this character. Again, he's stripy. You can tell the difference between this one and Tebow, who's also stripy, because he's got the smiling teeth. And what is it about striped Ewoks that we've already learnt? They are not part of the last 17. He has his shaman staff, shaman satchel, and an amazing headdress there. And over the last month or so, he's been selling on eBay for £10. A bargain. And here we have Paplu, another plain furred Ewok. And what have we learnt about plain fur? It's likely to be a last 17. And you can identify Paplu because of the moulded knife and belt on the belly there. Has a battle staff with a distinctive V on the end and a rather nifty hood. Now, this figure on eBay over the last month or so has been selling for about £60. It's Chief Chirper, another recognisable and distinctive Ewok. You can clearly see the teeth showing through there, and although the fur is plain, This is not a last 17 figure. There's a lot of moulding on the front. There's the belt, the knife sheath, and also a necklace under the large brown hood. It also has a distinctive chief staff. On eBay, over the last month or so, this figure has been selling on average for about £8, the cheapest of them all. Hang on, haven't we seen this before? It looks very, very similar to Lumat. Now, you can tell it's Warwick because if you look at his head, it's tilting slightly to the left, and also he has a moulded belt around his belly. I also think the fur looks a little bit more like a bird's feathers. Warwick's bow is much darker brown, and if you look at the quivers, there's 2 painted arrows on Lumat, and Warwick has 4 unpainted arrows. Otherwise, they're very, very similar. Now, you may have guessed that this is indeed a last 17 figure. It has very plain fur, and on eBay over the last month or so, on average, has been selling for a whopping £170, the most expensive Ewok at the moment. And there's your 8 Ewoks from the vintage Star Wars line. Hopefully, you now have a chance of identifying each of them and recognising which of them is most likely a last 17. If you were to buy all 8 from eBay today, it would cost a total of roughly £470. You can find them cheaper for sure, so good luck hunting them all down. And when you've got all 8, it's time to celebrate, Ewok style. Okay, let's see if I can remember all of the names after recording that. We have Wicket, Logray, Tebow, Chief Chirper, Lumat, Paplu, Warwick, and who is it? Romba. No, it's not Romba, is it? No. It's Wicket, Logray, Tebow, Chief Chirper, Lumat, Romba, Warwick, and Paplu. I think that's it. Yes, that's it. I think that's the first time we've ever remembered them all.